on the West Coast, and this is Being a Mitch, your update about unemployment, UI, PUA, FPUC, extended benefits, enhanced unemployment benefits, and more. But tonight, big developments minutes ago on your second stimulus check and second stimulus package and the continuing resolution budget bill. The video right after this evening's Lalate was taped before this recording. So this recording is more actually has a more update about something you're going to hear that is on the evening's Lalate. After evening's Lalate, I'll be back live with you again for Purple Power Live tonight, which will give you the last update of the night. And there's things changing literally every 20 minutes this afternoon. Where are we tonight? Where we are tonight, Bernie Sanders and Josh Hawley have both folded like lawn chairs. Both Josh and Bernie have done exactly the counter opposite to what they said no less than hours earlier. Let me explain where we are tonight. A week ago, Bernie Sanders and Josh Hawley, senators in the U.S. Senate from Republicans and independents, said that they would never give another 1 week extension to the congressional budget bill passage, never get a 1 week extension unless there's a $1,200 stimulus check in there. Bernie Sanders says we cannot go home, said a week ago, we cannot go home unless there's a $1,200 per adult check, $500 per kid for every working family, person and family. Anything else is totally unacceptable and has to get rejected. Congress is not going to go home until we do that. That's what the American people want. A week ago today, he said he was not going to reject any further extension unless there's a $1,200 stimulus check. Okay. Earlier today, Josh Hawley was asked, and that same day, a week ago today, Josh Hawley said he would not grant another extension unless there's a $1,200 stimulus check. So what happened tonight? Tonight, both of them did exactly the opposite. Josh Hawley, about an hour ago, tweeted, I spoke to people involved with the negotiations, and they assured me there's a stimulus check there. So since there's a stimulus check there, I'm going to give an extension. Didn't say the amount of the stimulus check. So essentially, Josh was told, hey, there's a $100 stimulus check in there. Can you give me extension? Sure, of course. Yeah, $100 stimulus. How about $45 stimulus check? Sure, I'll give you extension. Bernie Sanders, when he appeared on the Senate floor today to call a vote on the $1,200 stimulus check, said he would veto any extension further about this matter. When the bill came to the Senate minutes ago for an extension, he did nothing. Did zero. The bill is now on to the president to sign tonight. Let me explain where we are right now. About 2-3 hours ago, what the hell, says who? About 3 hours ago, they decided they were not going, the four people that are trying to formulate this stimulus package figured they could not get it done by tonight, which is no surprise. So they went and did an extension. I told you they would, and I told you they would put it to the House with Nancy, and they did. And they put it to Nancy with the House and got it approved within about 10 seconds. So then it went to the Senate. Well, when it landed in the Senate, the extension, this is not the bill, the extension, this is just an extension for 2 days. They put it to the Senate for extension. And as soon as they put it to the Senate for the extension, all the news reporters were waiting for Bernie and for Josh to do what they had said today, yesterday, last week, several times by tweets, on the record, on broadcast news, in writing, over and over and over again. They were going to block it unless there's $1,200 stimulus check. They said, nah, we'll give you extension. We'll give you extension. We'll give you extension. And the news reports covering tonight's events, like CNBC, the business channel, said if you went to their website about half an hour ago, they said the House passed it. Then they said it's on to the Senate. You refresh the page 5 minutes before I come on the air. It says it suddenly passed the Senate. I'm like, how did it pass the Senate? It just got to the Senate about 15 minutes ago. The article actually has now been changed and it says in the body of the article, Bernie Sanders and Josh Hawley had both promised to object to it, but they did not do it. The article actually calls, calls out Bernie and Josh for saying they were going to object, and they did not do it. In fact, I was tweeting no less than 15 minutes ago to Sanders, Hawley, and Warren to please object now that has landed in the Senate. And I had to update my tweet because it landed in the Senate, and they just, yeah, go ahead. Who cares? $100 stimulus check, $55 stimulus. Go ahead. I had to update my stimulus because it looks so ridiculous. It makes everyone look ridiculous, including you and me and broadcast news and reporters, where we're being told something's going to happen. They don't do it. Folding like a lawn chair. Tonight, if you go on Twitter, the number one thing trending in the United States is hashtag stimulus checks. Number one thing trending in the United States is hashtag stimulus checks. It's not trending for good reason. It's trending for bad reason. All the memes on Twitter are memes of congressional leaders laughing, and then people putting things like $600. We have golf balls more expensive than $600. Lunch, we spend more than $600 on lunch. Or, a picture of Lindsey Graham saying, tell them to try to figure out how to live on $600 for 9 months. I can't live 45 seconds on it. It's people mocking congressional leaders as though they're sort of dripping you little crumbs from a delicious croissant that they've had. Here's some crumbs. Enjoy some crumbs. That is the sentiment of, and Rich says, I've seen those. That's the sentiment that Americans are now having about Congress. And many of the tweets are basically saying, when you look at the time frame that you have endured this for 8, 9, 10 months, and they're coming up with $600, and then it's just repulsive. And then the other tweets are talking about big business, thank goodness. So that big business is getting all this wonderful money again, and there's nothing for the American people. And of course, Ron Johnson's been trending online all day long, but he's not, he's not ultimately the person to blame. The people to blame are the people who didn't step up. AOC tweeted a few minutes ago, this and that and this and that. She didn't do anything. AOC could have, the way it works is that when you're presented an extension in the House or an extension in the Senate, it only takes one person to object, and then no extensions granted. Well, AOC was tweeting away today, just a few minutes ago, tweeting. She didn't do anything. It's like, well, okay, that's real nice. You're tweeting, you didn't object, you're in the House. And then Bernie was tweeting, an hour ago, how I'm going to fight for $1,200. You didn't object. You didn't. It was just also a show again. A lot of show. The fake narrative from these people just sort of overwhelms. So as you sit here tonight, there is no deal, there is no bill, there is no stimulus check amount agreed upon. But what they're going to do is somewhere on Saturday, Sunday, they're going to the 4 people are going to emerge from that room and say, here you go, enjoy. And we're going to have to sort of see what it is. We don't know what it is. Josh Hawley, about an hour ago said, 2 hours ago said, we're not being told what's going on. We have been in the dark for days on end. We have absolutely no idea what's actually in this package. I'm not willing to sit back and be told nothing and be given no information, just ask, do as you're told. This is a reaching point of absurdity. That was what he said 2 hours ago. Tonight he's like, yeah, I'll give you an extension. I was told there's a stimulus check in here. He tweets, I was told there's a stimulus check in here. I'm good. Wait a second, Josh. This is what you said. We're reaching a point of absurdity when you don't know how much the stimulus check is in there. Then you're told that there is a stimulus check that's, $1. You're not told how much the stimulus check. Oh, I'm good. I'm good now. It's when asked earlier today whether he would object to a measly stimulus check, he would not answer. This is just wrong. It says mommy 1800 in the Instagram room. We're simulcast tonight on Instagram. It is just wrong. What you have to understand, and I'm not here to say one thing or the other, is that it's very hard on news reporters because I'm reporting something 2 hours ago. I mean, this quote was 2 hours ago. This is not 2 days ago. This quote from Josh was 2 hours ago. And, the video was 3 hours ago. I mean, the video was just a few hours ago, and now tonight he's doing the exact opposite of a prior video. It makes news reporters look, it makes news reporters very antsy, and makes the quality of the reporting, at issue, because I report something someone says at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time, and 2 hours later he's doing the exact opposite. It's like, wait a second, you just reported he said that. Yeah, he changed his mind again. And ultimately, I've been with you for a while, so you understand how I keep it up to date by the minute. But anyone who doesn't know me would say, wait a second, you said Josh was going to do this. Yeah, that's what Josh said. Well, why did he do this? I don't know. These people literally change their breath by the air. I mean, it's just, they literally swing left and right. So as you sit here tonight, the update that we have at the moment is that there is an extension of the continuing budget bill for 2 days till Sunday, that has been passed by the House and the Senate with no objection from Bernie Sanders, AOC, Hawley, Warren. No one has objected. It flew straight in. It's going to the president. We don't know if the president's going to veto or not. The president has till tonight to say anything or not. And then they will work on this Saturday and Sunday. We do not know the stimulus check amount. We have been told proposals. 1,200 is a proposal, 600 is a proposal, 700 is a proposal. We've heard every single version of things. The hashtag stimulus checks is trending #1 in the United States because the Americans are irate that a measly stimulus check that doesn't do much of, $600 is just like, I mean, what really is 600? The tweet said $600 is basically groceries for a family of four twice. I mean, it's grocery. I mean, it's 600. You know what 600? It's $600 is. Someone just said evil. It is evil. Instagram room says insane. And so we don't know what's going on. How long is the extension? It's 2 days. It's to Sunday only. And we don't know anything beyond that. We don't know anything with certainty. What's going to happen is somewhere on Saturday or Sunday, you're going to hear me announce they have a bill. You're going to hear me announce sometime Saturday or Sunday, there's a bill. The bill will be because 4 people in a room have agreed to something. Doesn't mean the Senate has agreed to it. Doesn't mean the House has agreed to it. There's going to be 4 people that have a bill, and they can say, here's a bill. Presumably, Nancy's going to try to push the bill quickly through the House right away, and then it'll land in the Senate. I'm not going to sit here and predict what Bernie Sanders and Josh Hawley are going to do anymore. I can run their quotes, but, if it passes the House on a Saturday night, and what happens when it lands in the Senate, I don't know. All we can do is do what we've been doing. Hashtag Senate vote no, hashtag House vote no. And I got to tell you, there's 10,000 tweets right now on Twitter. Hashtag stimulus checks. Every single tweet is against Congress. Every single tweet is an uproar. I can't imagine that no broadcast reporter, whether it's, Don Lemon or Anderson Cooper or, I can't believe no broadcast reporter does not see the outrage over the stimulus check amount. It is. I think a lot of people didn't know there was a stimulus check coming that don't follow stimulus checks in general. They didn't know that there was a stimulus check coming. And now they're hearing about the stimulus check and they're like, wait a second, what? It's also really, it also sets up a very bad precedent for Joe Biden, because Joe Biden throughout this entire process has not led by example. We're December 18th tonight. Well, I mean, we're just about 4 or 5 weeks away for him starting to introduce what he wants to do for multiple stimulus checks, what he wants to do for SSI and SSDI, what he wants to do for hazard pay, what he wants to do for rent eviction and rent money and for food money and EIDL. He better be coming with some good stuff, because this was not good stuff. Chuck Schumer today tweeted that he did support Bernie Sanders when he talked about the $1,200. That was good. Thank you, Chuck, for that. That was a good move. And Chuck said, I'm fighting for stimulus checks. That's a good move. But no one is explaining to us, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican, whether it's independent or not, why are you just all rolling over with the stimulus check amount? No one is saying anything. And AOC had a tweet which explained the situation like I explained it earlier today, which is that Republicans are saying a lot of fake narratives about stimulus checks. One, they're saying some people on unemployment get stimulus checks and unemployment, so you're getting double pay. Well, yeah, that's true, but that doesn't prevent, that shouldn't be a reason not to send out a stimulus check. Two, that people who are senior citizens deserve a stimulus check as much as someone who senior citizens who work 35, 45 years of their life and now retired are entitled to a stimulus check as much as a person who just started working last week out of college. If you're 21, you just got out of college and started working last week, you qualify for a stimulus check. But why you're not any more important or any less important than someone who worked 35 years of their life is now retired. And so the narrative for the Republicans is no, the kid who worked for a week should get a stimulus, should get unemployment, and the senior citizen should not get anything because they don't contribute economically to the economy. A vet, of course, you did 5 or 6 services in Afghanistan or in Kuwait. You served this country for 20 or 30 years, and you're honored serviceman. You should not get a stimulus check. It doesn't make sense. You shouldn't get a stimulus check because you don't contribute to the American economy. The economics of the situation it's wrong. It's economically, financially doesn't make any logical sense. It has nothing to do with partisanship. It doesn't have to be Republican. It makes no financial sense. On the other side, there are reasons why not to give PPP. People always ask me, so people lately have been saying, what's PPP? Because I don't talk about it a lot, so you don't know what it is. PPP is a program that was created on the CARES Act 1 program that is provided to small business owners, which starts with a loan that you provide money to your employees, where you can also be one of the employees as the business owner. And then you can apply for that money to be forgiven. And so it turns into a basically free stimulus, free rent, free grant. So an example is, for example, let's say you have a restaurant and you have 4 employees, but you list yourself as an employee, and the restaurant's owned by a corporation where you're one of the employees, and you list your income as $175,000, and you list your employees' income as 15,000, 20,000. You apply, you get $150,000 for yourself. You give 5 or 10, $15,000 you give a certain number of weeks to your employees, and then you don't have to keep them on staff. You can fire them. You can let them go, and then you can keep your doors shut. You can keep your doors shut and just collect the money. The concept of the PPP is a bad concept because one, the business can remain shut and don't have to actually operate, don't always operate, or can collect the money and just shut it down. And then the other problem with the PPP is that these businesses have had 1, 2, 3, 4 multiple rounds of PPP, and at one point you have to wonder, how many rounds of PPP do you need to exist? There is EIDL. You can go get EIDL. Why are we keep on cutting people's stimulus checks out to give PPP to businesses that you've had 1, 2, 3 rounds of PPP? And Kevin O'Leary has a whole theory unto itself. Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank has a more abrupt theory than mine, which is if you are a business and you've had 3 or 4 rounds of $400,000 of PPP. If you've gotten $2 or $3 million of PPP since March to October, and you still can't figure out how to change your business during this pandemic, you shouldn't be around. That's Kevin O'Leary's theory. Olive Garden, for example, is one of the corporate America companies that understood they had to make modifications and do a lot more takeout because there was going to be no indoor dining. Olive Garden's making fortunes, more than it's ever made, because it understood how to do takeout right. A lot of the PPP businesses don't even do takeout. They just close the doors and just collect the money. And so the reason why your stimulus checks are being rationed is because they want to give a lot of money to these PPP businesses that got hundreds of millions of dollars before, millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, and keep on getting it, and they're back getting money again. So there we go. I can't believe Josh and Bernie quit on the American people, says Delchuk. I'm shocked. I had to, because I had the screen open to a CNBC article that said it passed, the extension passed the House. I'm like, okay, it'll go to the Senate like in a few hours, because it's only what, 4:30 on the West Coast. I'll be a couple of, I refresh the screen and like it says passed the Senate. I'm like, wait a second, when did it pass the Senate? I'm like, when did it pass the Senate? It's just crazy. Um, Vote them now. It's all a show. God don't like greedy, says Al Nazarian in the Instagram room. Shut the government down. Antonio Perez, L8, heart, heart, heart. What about New Jersey stimulus? You said it was announced. I've seen nothing. Yeah, there is some New Jersey stimulus. Um, of course, they're reckless like the rest of us. Those owners kept the money. They absolutely, the owners of the PPP businesses kept the money. Um, Retroactive FPUC doesn't look like they're going to have retroactive FPUC in this. We've been waiting a very long time, says Clinton. Absolutely true. What did they? Oh, it's going really fast now, the chat. I was told to apply for RFU. I don't know what that is. Sounds like a scam. Karma is good for the evil people. Throw them out of government. Yeah, they need to be thrown out. United Way. No, that's not true, Teresa. United Way has paid viewers money in countless states. Viewers have gotten rent paid from United Way in Georgia, Pennsylvania. Um, I can just keep on going on and on and on. There's a lot of states that people have gotten rent paid from United Way. We should be ashamed of our politicians, Sherry. Absolutely true. Are we getting a check? Yeah, you are. Not the correct amount. Um, Merry Christmas, LA. Oh, well, thank you, Daniel. Merry Christmas, LA, and Purple Power family, says Daniel Weber. He's wishing us all Merry Christmas. That's very, very kind. Term limits, term limits. They do need term limits. These people are 85 to 90 years old. The four corners, those four people that met earlier this week, the average age is 82 years old, and they've been in Congress for 35 years. No exaggeration. Term limits. These people should not be in office for 30 something years and be 85 years of age. There's several senators who are very well liked, who are the reports of senility in the last few weeks, where they don't recall anything you tell them 20 minutes earlier. It's not a joke. When you're 85 years old, how much work can an 85-year-old person do on a 14-hour day week, a 14-hour day schedule? It's people. I have problems doing on my schedule. Fire Nancy, says someone. Term limit, says Miranda. Not one of them has a soul, says Fazares in the Instagram room. They need fresh blood in Congress. DS says absolutely true. Politics was never intended to be a career. Purple Power, Yaya. Our government is trash. Someone just said. Merry Christmas, everyone, says Marlene Richardson. Thank you. That's really nice. These politicians like dictators. Link, they are. Uh, Dead Man Walking. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of, and I have not seen it in a while, so I don't want to get the context wrong, but it reminds me of Evita Peron in the musical Evita. Where, you remember the musical Evita? You probably remember the Madonna version for the movie version, where she appears on the balcony and says, "Don't cry for me, Argentina." It's like, "Don't cry for me. I gave you $600. Don't cry for me. I gave you $600. You should be happy." It just smells like Evita Peron all over again. Just the congressional version of Evita Peron. It's just awful. Merry Christmas. Have a great, safe Christmas, says Heather Tittel. Yes, you're the new speaker, Purple Power. I appreciate that, Daniel. Oh my God, not Avita, says Nicole in the Instagram room. I'm not paying them taxes. No, you have to pay them taxes. I want to check for my state stimulus. Merry Christmas, says another person. So can they vote to keep it open and close their eyes to U.S. economy? Well, what they've now done so far is they've only done a 2-day extension. I'm proud of you for your voice, Elliot. I appreciate that. Um, they have term limits after a while, and then they lose what they got there. Get their scars ready. 12-year term limits. Yeah, they have 30. They have 55 year term limits. So if you turn 90, if you turn 122, you can't stay in Congress anymore. Can they be held accountable legally? No, you can't sue them. Exterminate them. Careful. Love the shirt. Oh, thank you. The lighting makes the shirt look weird, but it looks better in the Instagram room. Love you, Purple. I appreciate that too. Executive orders. The president can still do executive orders. Absolutely. 2-day extension. Yeah, 2-day extension for the budget bill, not 2-day extension for anything else. Just a 2-day extension to stay in town. Um, they've been screwing us around since this pandemic started. They did. Will they be extending the eviction date? Don't know. Don't know. One of the people on the broadcast news said that he believes they are. I don't know. I hope they are. It would be insane if they aren't. Um, Red Queen just got on a break. What have I missed? My PUA says summit. Summit? I don't know what summit means. Great ornaments are like, oh, I appreciate that. Uh, the senator's trailer park. Everyone tagged Trump for an EO. That's a very good comment. Sally K says everyone tagged Trump for an executive order. Executive order $1200. Executive order now. What happened to Trump fighting for us? What happened to Bernie fighting for us? What happened to AOC? What happened to Elizabeth Warren? What happened to it's just I can just a whole list of people. What happened? How can they have double standards? Lucky for us, not to bottom down, no financial. You can't have it both ways. They have no standards. Their standards are to help big business and help corporate greed. And I don't know. The guy Ron Johnson. Someone tweeted today. Ron Johnson has a net worth of 10 million and his wife is a billionaire. So it's it's a constant theme you hear. A 90-year-old person who or an 85-year-old congressional leader who has never worked a day in their life has been that they have been in Congress for 35 years, has never really held a real job. Never went to graduate school. Most of these are just college graduates, and they don't have any economic understanding, no economic training. They went to college for English major or something, and then they went into politics. And they sit back and they talk about numbers like they're good with numbers. Well, they're not. Um, More stimulus. Governor Newsom's company's getting PPPE. Wow. Mitch needs to go to a funeral home. Uh, Now this is time to let them go in peace. Mitch the Grinch and Nancy the Ice Cream Queen, says the Instagram room. Go ahead, shutdown. Um, did Trump sign the extension? Not at the time I pressed start on this video, which was 27 minutes ago. But the way this is moving so fast, I don't know. Everyone's just folding up like a lawn chair. I mean, I could get off I could press stop and get out of the seat, and then maybe I'll see Trump has signed the extension. Oh, and they've actually already approved the bill. Goodbye and good night. I mean, they literally, there was no joke when I told you Nancy does not want to stay in Washington, D.C. on a Thursday night. She should have been home. Well, today's Friday night. She's pissed she's even in town tonight. She gets on that private jet. She flies to California, and she's in her house and flies back on Sunday night to Washington. She is not happy she's in town for 2 extra days. And I don't think she's alone. I think there's a lot of other congressional leaders that do much the same. They get on those private jets, and they fly right out. Poor Pelosi. That is true. So how long we wait? You will find out on Saturday and Sunday how this is going to unfold. You're likely the president has to do extension if he's going to sign the extension tonight, and then Saturday and Sunday on this channel is going to be lit. Friday evening on this channel is usually a slower night in terms of viewership, and Saturday is usually a slower day on viewership. So I'm going to pre-warn you, tomorrow is going to be insane. So be prepared for major updates across the board Saturday, because they're trying to get this done Saturday and Sunday. So you're going to need an extra drink ready for yourself on Saturday and Sunday. And with that, you need to remain focused with me. Coming up next is Evening's LLA. On that Evening's check, that was taped before this recording. So in that recording, you'll hear me say, it's off to the Senate to see if the Senate's going to approve an extension. That, of course, was taped before this recording. The next recording after that will be Purple Power Live. I'll come back on air and answer your questions about state stimulus on that recording. Thank you for the nice comments. Keep it positive. Keep it focused. We're not done yet. This is the first stimulus check. I know I'm repeating what political officials are telling you, and yeah, they may again backtrack and tell you something different, but you're being told you're getting $2,400 of SSI and SSDI starting in January. You're being told you're getting hazard pay. You're being told you're going to get multiple stimulus checks coming in January. You're being told you're going to get rent and EIDL. You're being told all these things are coming about 4 weeks from now. So there's a lot of things coming next. Um, we got to keep these people accountable. I think you did keep them accountable to the best extent we could. Now we know that people just sort of change their stories. You saw with Josh, where he said, "I'm not going to sit around and do as I'm being told." This is a reaching point of absurdity. But when he's told that there's a stimulus check, just don't know the amount, then it's fine. So now we need better. Biden's package better be huge. It better be huge. Biden's promising to let it a lot. He better deliver, because this stuff of down payment. $600 better be down payment for $6,000. Is I don't mean $600 as a down payment for $700. So that's where we are tonight. Thank you for keeping it positive, keep it focused, keep a smile going. Thank you for the Christmas wishes to each and all, and I'll see you shortly on Evening's Check, and then join me live on Purple Power Live tonight. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, stay in LA for more.